morning, and thank you all for coming. I have always told the mayor that I did not envy him in regarding the decision that he would have to make for police chief, but I knew that he would make the best decision for our community. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to work with Chief Holloway. A group in Clearwater began a cold case initiative, and this initiative was to bring justice to the families of homicide victims. When I first met Chief Holloway, I introduced myself, and the first question I asked him was, how many CSOs do you have? And he said, Lisa, all of my officers are CSOs. I have no police officers. And I was impressed. And he went on to explain the model of his CSOs. All I can say, if he brings the same model here, our community will not be disappointed. The mayor thought long and hard about this decision. He has always said to me that he wanted to make the best choice for our community. I can assure you that he did not take this lightly. I assure you, with much prayer and some sleepless nights, public safety is one of our community's main concerns. And I respect the mayor for taking the time to think through this important decision. St. Petersburg needs a progressive police chief in order to move things forward. I'm looking forward to working with Chief Holloway to improve the quality of life for all of our residents and visitors.
Today is an exciting day. Today, it's a day for optimism. Today is the day that the St. Petersburg Police Department begins its transformation. Today is a day that this department reclaims its spot as a leader in the law enforcement community. Today is a day that we begin to come together. Our residents, visitors, business owners, our children, they deserve the very best. They deserve a police force that is united, and as does our new police chief. And while today is about the future, it's worth noting the track record of Chief Tony Holloway. He has been a strong, visible chief of police in the cities of Clearwater and Somerville, Massachusetts. He has a track record in implementing the latest technologies while continuing to emphasize old-fashioned relationship building. Tony Holloway is a native of the Tampa Bay area. He attended Eckerd College right here in St. Petersburg. And as I remarked in the paper, Chief Holloway knows us, but he's not of us, until now. And with that, I'd like to give a warm welcome to the next Chief of Police for the St. Petersburg Police Department, Chief Tony Holloway.
Good morning. I don't know, I feel like a football coach or something. Everybody's in here and they're like waiting to see what's going to happen to the team today. Well, there's a lot of good men and women here at the St. Pete Police Department, and we're going to show you that we are a force that's going to stand together. But we're also going to show you that we're going to build some bridges back into our community, because that's what we need. Law enforcement, a long time ago, what we looked at is we became great when 9/11 happened. And what we did was we focused a lot on terrorism, but we forgot our communities. Now we're coming back to our community, and that's what this department is going to do. There's a lot of officers here, and I want to get a chance to meet each and every one of them. My responsibility has changed since I'm leaving Clearwater, and I always say this, and I got to get that number right. So I think we have 500 and something sworn. Am I? 545. Okay, so my day's going to start with 545 and end with 545. That's what makes my career.
You know, I said during the campaign that I wanted to do a nationwide search. I wanted to look not just within but outside, because I did have some concerns, and I was very upfront about concerns I had if we were to go inside. But I also didn't want to rule out inside, because we had talented people that serve us and that I respect, and that I wanted to see what their level of interest was, and then have a chance to do interviews. We narrowed down based on a search to a group of finalists, and as anyone knows, you can only judge so much by resumes and even a little 3-minute videos, which we went kind of a step further than most do in asking for those. You don't know until you meet people face to face. And after we did our interviews, after obtaining feedback from council, after hearing from the public, what I became convinced of is that while there was tremendous skills in those candidates, it wasn't the right fit for what we need at this time in this department. And as I said right from the beginning, my job as mayor is to hire the best chief for the best department. And that's why I ended up going outside that list, because I wasn't going to allow the fact that we had narrowed it down to limit me if I didn't feel that one of those four was the best person at this time to lead us forward. I reached out to Chief Holloway, was impressed. In our initial discussion, we had a follow-up discussion before we met face-to-face. I asked him the same questions that I asked of every other candidate, the difference being that I liked every answer that I got from him, whereas I couldn't say that about each of the other candidates. There were different things that it didn't lead me to where we are today, and where we are today is to have the best guy in this position that I could have possibly hired, and I am thrilled to have Chief Holloway as my new chief.
Thank you all for attending here today. On behalf of CPR and the various agencies, we thank you for coming here today to support our veterans, their service, and all the great things that we get to enjoy every day as a result of their service. We've had, as you'll see from our sign, we've had several vendors help participate in this process. With any construction project, it's always twice as long and twice as much as you expect. And we're happy that we did have those members of our community to participate and make this a reality here today. When many of the homes were built in this neighborhood, there were words said then that still resonate today. And I hope to introduce those, again, that were said by the great Martin Luther King, is that everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated from love. Those words ring true. And we appreciate all those that served, not only in the military, but served to bring this project here today to a reality. There was an individual that worked on our team that helped stood these walls up with Martin Gramatica and his brothers. Not too long afterwards, found out he had terminal cancer, Mark Simmons, and he passed just a couple weeks ago. Stephen, we want you to know how special this house is, how much the community has given to support you because you're special, and we appreciate your service. And as community members, we want to serve to continue to make this a great community and home. A little bit about Stephen, and I'll use, and I've been very fortunate to develop a friendship and a relationship with Stephen over the past couple years. And just this past weekend, we went out spearfishing with Captain James of Catching Hell, the local episode of the Weather Channel. And Stephen didn't realize it because I called him up. I said, hey, can you be down the docks here in about 15 minutes? And he said, yeah, can my friend come? Stephen came, and when he got there, I said, do you know how to dive? He said, I'm certified. He said, but I only need one fin. Yeah. So I asked him, I said, have you ever spearfished before? He said, no. He got on the boat. He went out with us, put on his gear, figured out the spearfishing gun, and harvested his first fish ever. Or 6. And they're all about this big.
He's already a spearfisher.
Yeah, he's already there. So I say that because there's an old parable about giving a man a fish and teaching him how to fish. And I want to say today that we're not giving a house to Stephen. We're teaching him how to be in the community, in a home, in his new civilian life outside of the military. And we hope that this pays forward in perpetuity with Stephen's ability to serve the community and be great, and also pay it forward as we move forward with this great community of St. Pete. And today we have one of our leaders of St. Petersburg, the mayor, here to go over the some of the great things with the city of St. Pete, and now how beneficial the relationship has been, and the programs that are out there for those veterans to welcome them coming into the community.
I am so honored to be here today, to be a part of this, because we're not only lifting up this veteran, but we're also lifting up South St. Petersburg. And so I wanted to first off say a number of thank yous. I wanted to thank the community partners in revitalization for everything that you're doing, not only with this property, but around our city for the veterans in our community. To Martin Gramatica Family Foundation, thank you so much for everything that you're doing today and in our community. Operation Finally Home, and all the other sponsors whose names are on the board here for helping to make today happen and helping to bring this home to Stephen. And especially thank you to Stephen for your service to our country and to our community. We're so happy for you today. And to all the other veterans who give so much to us every day in service to our country, thank you. There are a number of elected officials I want to recognize who are with us today. Representing Representative Dudley's office, Matthew Hernan is here. Commissioner Welch from the Pinellas County Commission is here. I'm going to invite him up to speak in just a moment. And from Representative Kathy Castor's office, Vito Sheely, who has asked me to read a letter from Congresswoman Castor. And it reads as such: "Dear friends, it is with great honor that I extend greetings to the home dedication ceremony for Private First Class Stephen Peterson. It is truly a momentous occasion that the St. Petersburg community can come together to honor an American hero for his dedication and sacrifice to our nation. PFC Peterson lost his right leg while serving our country during Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan. Operation Finally Home, in partnership with community partners in revitalization, a local nonprofit in the greater Tampa Bay area, selected him to receive a new home. This home dedication is just one of many gestures of gratitude for his service and is a step to ensure that PFC Peterson will live a more secure life. I want to thank all those who take the time to care for our veterans and strive to make their transitions home much easier. On behalf of the constituents of the 14th Congressional District of Florida, I extend my best wishes for today's event and to PFC Peterson. Sincerely, Kathy Castor, United States Representative, Florida, District 14. Again, on behalf of everyone in the city of St. Petersburg, thank you to everyone involved in this process of making this home happen today, and special thanks and gratitude to Stephen Peterson. Thank you.
On behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, I want to thank Stephen and Charlie, all the other veterans who are here, for all that you have done for our nation. And on behalf of a grateful Pinellas County, I just want to thank you for all that you are doing. It is such a wonderful day in our community, the direction that St. Petersburg and Pinellas County is moving in. It's a real spirit of partnership, but also identifying and recognizing, and I'll be brief, those things that are most important and those people who have made a real difference in our community. So on behalf of Pinellas County, I want to thank all the partners that have made this happen, and let's keep the progress going.
There's not much more to say after all the great words that have been said today, but I want to thank Stephen for what he did for our country. Charlie, like Ryan was saying, it's not just that we're handing over a house. They've earned everything that they get from now on. What they've done for us, what they do, what every military person does for us, for our freedom, there's nothing that is given to them. They've earned every bit of it. I'm honored to have my family here, our foundation. We have a couple of our board members, because we all believe in the same cause. We believe that we need to give back to these guys for what they gave to us. originally I'm not from the United States, born in Argentina, so we know what it's like not to have freedom. And I keep saying that, and I always want to teach my kids that because they don't see that. All our young kids here, they live here knowing that they think like it's like this everywhere in the world, but we need to let them know that we need to appreciate our military because without them, we wouldn't have our freedoms. I want to thank all the sponsors, everybody that helped out with this home, because like Brian was saying, it can't be done alone. Operation Family Home, we met 3 years ago in Dallas at a Super Bowl with them, and that's how we kick-started this journey here in Florida. If it wasn't for that, who knows if we would even be doing this. So you just never know. And thanks to them and the people here in Florida that partner up and got together to do it, we've been able to do Charlie's, now Stevens, and we hope to do a lot more. Like I always say, it's not about us. It's about putting soldiers in homes. I mean, the easiest thing to do is to find a wounded veteran that needs a home. These guys come, fight for our freedom. They come home. A lot of them end up in hospitals doing rehab for years, and when they're free to go, they have nowhere to go. So with everybody's help and everybody's being here and the support that the community's showing, hopefully we can get a bunch of guys here in the Tampa Bay area. I know there's a ton of organizations doing it all over the country. But we want to tackle the Tampa Bay area and make sure that we can get as many guys as we can in this area. Again, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Charlie. And thanks, everybody, for coming out and showing the support because they deserve it. Thank you, guys.
I would just like to thank everyone for coming out today and help share my experience towards new home ownership. A little bit about myself is I served 4 years in the For those who don't know me, I served 4 years in the U.S. Army as a combat engineer, which specifies as we did route clearance. From the beginning, from basic to AIT, I was shortly stationed after graduation at Fort Hood, Texas. And 2 months into being there, I was shipped off to Afghanistan. And I did about a 6-month tour. Within that 6-month period, on the 6th month, I was in an explosion, which did the most damage. And after that, I recovered over in San Antonio, Texas, at Fort Sam Houston, where I did the remaining of my tour or my sentence, almost, so to speak. And my. I'm sorry. That's all right. All right, and finished recovery, and that's where I met. That's where I met my buddy Charlie over there. We recovered together, and he put in a good recommendation to get me this house. So thank you, bud. And and I would just like to thank the builders, the charity, everyone affiliated, and. Yeah. And thank you for coming. Ready? It was checking out that short. 1, 2. Yeah.